What's up guys, my name is Alishan Ali. In this video I'm going to talk about how to make a date picker component in React Native like this. So here you can see that a label and the one input field, select birth date. Now if I click on this, you can see that one date picker is opening. Alright, now user can select the date of birth, whatever the date of birth is it, and after that user can click on confirm. Alright, now after that, once the user selected that, we are showing a date in a different format. We are also formatting the date. Alright, so we're gonna learn that how to make date picker component in React Native like this. So first of all, I'm going to create a one fresh React Native project. So let's do that. So here you can see that guys, I had just created one fresh React Native project and we are just rendering a one text called hello. Alright, now to create a custom date picker component, we're gonna use one package that is called npm I react native date picker. So you have to search react native date picker, react native native date picker. Okay, now you have to open this package, the first package, react native date picker, copy this command. So I'm gonna copy this command and you have to paste this command here in your terminal. So it will install this package. Meanwhile it's installing the package, I'm going to talk about this package, how we can use it. Like this is the how it look like in iOS and this is how it look like in Android. Alright, now here you can see that the inline as well. Even if you want to use inline date picker, you can. Alright, and if you want to how to document it, the documentation is on the GitHub page. So I'm going to click open link in new tab and we're going to follow the documentation to implement this. Alright, now once you click on this, it opened the date picker GitHub, and here you can see that first we have to install this package. After that we have to import the date picker from the React Native date picker. There's some props which we have to follow, like we have to pass like open, date, unconfirm and on cancel. Alright, so let's do that. So first of all, I'm gonna start my server again, npm start, and here inside this text I'm gonna remove this text. Okay, and inside this I'm gonna import the date picker component. So I just imported the date picker from the React Native date picker and I'm gonna close this like this. Okay, and after that what I'm gonna do guys, I'm gonna pass this all the property. So it will be like date picker will be like modal is a true by default, and after that we're gonna pass the open and date. So I'm gonna just copy this all the property. Okay, and here I'm gonna just paste it here. Okay, so for the open, like I'm gonna create one state that it will track the model is like we have to open a date picker or not. So we're gonna use one use state hook, use state, and by default it will be a false. Okay, and I'm gonna write one state call variable called so date picker. Okay, and set so date picker. Okay, I'm gonna copy this variable value, I'm gonna paste it here. All right, and again I'm gonna copy this value, and whenever you use, okay, I'm gonna comment this here. Okay, I'm gonna remove this whole code, Okay, now here we have to also have a one state as well. Okay, so for that I'm gonna just collapse this my directory here. Okay, now you can see that whole code visible is there, and I'm gonna write const selected date set selected date. Okay, and I'm gonna have a one state use state, and by default it will be the value of today, like new date. By default you can, okay, so the initial value will be new date value like this, and here I'm gonna just pass this value selected date. Okay, now here if you see that we are able to see nothing on the UI, right? And if I make it like true, let me make it true, like so date picker is a true. Now you can see that the model is visible. All right, now if you don't want a model, like here you had defined a model here. So if you don't want to pass as a model, like if you want to show in an inline format, so you can make it like model is a false. So I'm gonna show you like how it's gonna visible. So if I make it model as a false, so you can see that this is how it looks like. Okay, but I'm gonna make the models true. I want to see in the model. All right, now after that, if you see on the image, we have to render that on whenever we gonna have a one input field, and whenever the user click on that input field, the date picker will get opened. All right, so for that what we are going to do guys, we are going to do one thing that is called we're gonna use one text input component like this, and here I'm gonna have a one placeholder. We're gonna add a one emoji as well, so the calendar emoji, and after that I'm gonna write choose date of birth. Okay, all right. Now here you can see that a text is visible, but let's style this as well. Style is equal to styles dot text input. Okay, so I'm gonna style it quickly here, so it should looks better. So here I'm gonna write text input, and I'm gonna add a border width of 1 and border color of maybe black for now, and we can have some padding as well, padding of 2 or maybe 10, and the margin as well, margin of 10 as well, 10. All right, now you can see that, and we're gonna add a border radius as well, so border radius of 20 or 10 maybe, or 10 will looks perfect, not 20. Okay, now you can see that we are able to see one text input, like all right. So but what we are going to do here, we have to render a value, like we have to render a date. So for this, here we have to render a date. Value will be a date like this, selected date, not date, like this. Oh my gosh. Okay, now the value will be a selected date kind of. Okay, that is not assignable to type string. Okay, I'm gonna okay, got it. I'm gonna just remove this block of code from here, and here what I'm gonna do, guys, I'm gonna do one thing. I'm gonna make it like editable as a false for now. Okay, and here we're gonna have maintain one state. Here we're gonna have a one touchable opacity. Okay, and I'm gonna wrap my text input inside a touchable opacity like this. Okay, clear? I think here you don't have any questions, right? And on press, and I'm gonna create one function handle toggle input. Okay, handle toggle input, all right. I'm gonna copy this function, or I'm gonna write const handle toggle input, and here what is gonna this function to do, like set show date picker as a false. Okay, and let's click on this. You can see that it's still like we are clicking on this, but nothing is happening, right? Now let me give a try once more. Okay, now here what I'm gonna do, guys, I am gonna add a console. So console dot log triggering. Okay, now for this I'm gonna just close the app for now. I'm gonna open the app once more, and I'm gonna just reload the app. Okay, and let's click on this. Now you can see that we are getting a trigger function. All right, now here whenever user click on this, whenever the function will get triggered, so I'm gonna make it like a true. So if I click on this, you can see that a date picker is visible there. All right, now again let me reload the app once more. Now let's click on this. You can see that a date picker is visible, but this date picker is along with the date and time picker. Okay, so here I'm gonna write mode will be a date only, not date time picker. Okay, and here if you see that we are passing a selected date property here. Okay, not a big deal. Now whenever users confirm the date, like whenever users okay, let me reload the app quickly. Okay, the app is hanging, so let me open the app quickly once more. And here if you see that if we click on this, okay, and here you can select the date. Okay, so whenever user confirm the date, so here we get the value console.log date. Okay, and whenever cancel this, so we have to close this. So we're gonna write set show date picker as a opposite one, like show date picker. So it will be become, if it's true then it will become false. Okay, now let me reload the app, and here let me click on this, and let's click on cancel. Now let's click on this, let's click on confirm. Now you can see that we are getting a value like this, a string format. Okay, so whenever we get the value, if a date is there, okay, so what I'm gonna do, guys, I'm gonna set that set show date, set selected date, date will be this date. Okay, and here I had passed this value called new date, so I'm gonna pass here null value for now. Okay, the reason behind that, let me explain you. Here we are passing a null value. Okay, now if if selected date value is not there, if there is no value, if selected value is there, then render the selected date, else I'm going to render that new date here. I'm going to pass this value like this. Okay, so if there is no value, so by default the date will become today date, and if we select any date, let's suppose if I select the November 7th of November and we click on confirm, so by default the date will be become 7th of November. Okay, so yeah, this is okay. So there is one more thing, handle toggle input. Okay, let's reload the app and let's click on this. Okay, 7th September is visible there. Okay, now let's click on October, 7th of October. Let's click on confirm and let's click on this again. Okay, this is why it's like not opening, like, you know, second time. I'm also surprised, like, you know, I have to reload the app. Okay, not a big deal, not a big deal. Now the next thing which we gonna do, guys, here we have to render the value, right? So for the value we're gonna have like, you know, date, selected date value like this. Okay, now let's click on this. Let's select the October 7th, and still the value is not visible because this object is not a value which he wants, right? So we have to format this value. So for that I'm gonna use one package called moment, npm I moment. Okay, so we're gonna use this package. So I'm gonna copy this command, and after that I'm gonna paste it here, npm I moment. Okay, so for this I had also written one article, Medium article. You guys can check it out if you stuck on this video, or like, you know, if this doesn't work for you. So here I created one video as well. Let me go to the profile, and this is the article I had written you know, very previously. So I will provide this link in the description so you guys can check it out. All right, so I'm gonna copy this command, npm I moment. I think it has been installed, and let me, you know, rerun my project, npm start, and I'm gonna press the A to run on Android. So okay, while it's running, so what I'm gonna do, guys, I have to format the dates. Okay, so if it's the value is there, so yeah, I got it. Okay, so if its value is there, so what we have to do here, inside this value, if its value is there, okay, so if selected date value is there, then we have to write what? We have to format that date, right? So for that, here if you see one example, let me show you example, moment.c.js. So to format like this, you know, 7th September 2024, we have to copy this like this, and we have to do like this, else we have to pass it like this. I'm going to import the moment like this, moment from moment, and inside this if you see that we have to pass the value. Okay, so I'm going to pass the value called selected date. Okay, perfect. Now let me reload the app. So you can see that the app has been reloading, and now let me click on choose date of birth, and if I click on maybe 7th of December and click on done, so you can see that the value is visible here. Awesome, awesome, great, sweet. All right, now even if you want to use a pressable component, so you can use pressable as well, but I'm using here touchable opacity. Okay, now if we click on this again, okay, and yeah, so DatePicker will be true, false, and selected date confirm. Whenever the user confirm the date, so we have to also close the date, like, you know, set DatePicker as a false. That's the issue, like, you know, that's the thing was happening, like, you know, after the selecting the date we are not updating the value. Now if I click on this again, now it's working perfectly. So you guys, you know, whenever the users confirm the date, you have to make sure the, you know, close the DatePicker component as well from the UI. All right, so that's why, like, you know, whenever I was clicking on this again, so it was not opening that. That's the issue was there. Yeah, so in short, how we can, there's another props as well, like you can pass the minimum date, maximum date. That's totally up to you. And here you can see that on this documentation they have mentioned a lot of props, like on date change, maximum date, minimum date, minute interval, mode, like, you know, you just want date time or date or time, local, time to ops, it's 24 hours, on confirm, on cancel, confirm text, cancel text, the title which you want, like, you know, currently the title is, like, you know, is showing select date, but I want to pass a custom title, so you can pass select date of birth. Okay, you can do a lot of props is there, so you can update that as well. So I'm gonna just open this again, and now you can see that a select date of birth is visible there. Okay, now you can see that our month, confirm text, cancel text, team, button color, divide color, on state change. All right, so yeah, this is how you can create a custom date picker. But let me explain you once more. So first we had imported date picker from the date picker, and after that we had maintained one state called show date picker and set show date picker. By default use state will be false, selected date value will be like by default null. Okay, now after that we are having one traceable component. So whenever user click on this input, we are just triggering it out as a true, so the date picker will be visible there. And after that it's whenever they visible, so we are just on the on confirm we get the value, we are just updating the value. On cancel we are just, once we get the value, we are also closing that date picker, and on the cancel as well. Okay, and once we get the value, we are formatting the date into an MMDOOYY, so like this. All right, so yeah, that's all in this video, guys. If you guys have any questions, so you guys can check it out, this article as well. I will provide in the description as well. You can also read this documentation if you are having much more doubts, and if you're having any other doubt as well, so you can guys ping me on Discord, ping me on my WhatsApp group, and yeah, and you can comment on the section as well. And you can also buy some courses from the zerodegreecoder.in LMS website, like how to build music player, how to build e-commerce app, or how to build watch store app. All right, yeah, that's all in this video, guys. Thank you, love you, bye bye, take care.